He is getting closer. On to the backstretch now with less than 1/2 lap to go for Jeff Gordon. He eyes turn number 3. Listen to the crowd as they acknowledge Jeff Gordon.
Jeff Gordon is undoubtedly one of NASCAR's most famous drivers ever. The man is a racing legend. Dude has won 4 championships, has 93 wins to his name, and is basically respected as racing Jesus. So with that to his name, when 11-year-old me heard he was going to be immortalized by cameoing in Cars 2 like Richard Petty and Dale Earnhardt before him, I was hyped! All the possibilities for paint jobs are crazy! Which one would they use? His flames, the rainbow, the black one? I couldn't wait to see him. Then I finally saw his appearance and, well...
You serious?
Yeah, I was pretty disappointed with what we got. Like, really? This is the Jeff Gordon representation we got? This generic ass scheme better get out my face. Jeff Gorvette's Cars 2 scheme failed to represent the OG Jeff Gordon by just not using any of his schemes as reference at all. I don't know if they chose this because Pixar didn't want the 2 Americans to have flame paint jobs for the movie, or they made him like this to better represent the Corvette racing, which isn't bad, but by having the character based off a guy who in real life never raced in the field before be the rep is pretty stupid, all things considered, and defeats the purpose. Should've just had a different driver be the rep, you know what I'm saying? So it's safe to say Jeff's appearance is pretty mid, and don't even get me started on the Cars 3 appearance. All he did was change the flag to flames and took off the World Grand Prix decals. Even kept the fucking World Grand Prix 24 decal the same. So, with all my gripes, recently I've acquired a new Jeff Gorvette for my upcoming World Grand Prix race, and now I have a spare. And remembering my gripes with it, I thought...
Fine. I'll do it myself.
And so, I got to work. The first thing I had to do was disassemble the diecast, and dear God! Why was it so difficult? The drill I used to open diecast up at the time was just not strong enough to do it. It opened up a Dynaco Cruise I had just fine I used for Rose, but not Jeff. Jeff, you make me want to replace someone's lemonade with piss. So after a trip to Walmart, I got a better drill, and he finally opened. Thank you, Jesus! I used the wheels from an old Cars 3 McQueen. Unfortunately for me, that means that they are very hard to turn, seeing how they barely fit on the chassis. Front wheels can kinda move, but the back are forever static. Then I took the body, sprayed it down in primer, didn't get no photos, I'm sorry, and gave it 3 coats of navy blue by Apple Barrel, and painted the wheels black to match the real life car. Then I went on to design the decals after creating some concept sketches. I knew what I wanted. I wanted a Cars 1 style Jeff Gordon NASCAR flame scheme, because that's what everyone voted for in my live stream. Go check it out. But a challenge I found was, what the hell is the sponsor going to be? I saw a suggestion for Shifty Drug to be it, but that means I would have to retcon Kevin Racing Tire out of existence, and that didn't sit well with me. There's a difference between adding a character and replacing one, if you catch my drift. So I decided, hey, Dale got a pass for a sponsor in Cars, but modified, so Jeff should get the same treatment, respectfully. I gave him DuPont, but he's pretty well known for having the Pepsi logo on his car too. Seeing how Pepsi doesn't exist in the Cars world, I decided to go with the equivalent, Sludgy Cola. Also, big shout out and thank you to David23 for releasing the Cars 1 contingency sponsors on Discord. And God, I did not have the time or patience to recreate them myself. I would have actually had to give up on life there. After that, I finished the decals in Photopea, got them printed out, and applied them to the car with sticker paper. During that, I decided to use construction paper for the window bars, and they're okay, but are very jarring the more you look. After applying a gloss finish to the body and wheels, I reassembled it, and ta-da! We're done!
What? Poggers!
I am pretty satisfied with what I've created, but I only have 2 issues with him. Uno, the front is pretty janky, I'm not gonna lie. Seeing how this was my first time ever creating and applying a decal to fit on a dimension this complex, I kind of fumbled. Like Pixar making Cars 2.
Why you booing me? I'm right.
Yeah, the front's not the best, but he still looks good and fits the stock car aesthetic I was going for. Dose, the car's technically not closed all the way. You see, the way I reassemble cars is I super glue them back together, and as I learned with this custom, that's not the most effective method, because you could end up with things like where the back doesn't close all the way and it just leaves me like,
no, it's fine, it doesn't bother me, it bothers me a lot.
it's such a small gap that I'm pretty sure people wouldn't even recognize it on first first glance, but I do, and it makes me want to kick baby. I'm positive the only reason it won't close all the way is because of how tight the area is thanks to the wheels. You know, unfortunate sacrifice, but one that had to be made for aesthetic. And that is my custom Jeff Gorvette NASCAR Scheme diecast. If you haven't noticed, this is a new format building upon my old lame Cars Custom one from 2 years ago in 2020. I rewatched that one recently and I was so fucking bored during it, dude. So I decided to change things up and streamline it to something I'm more happy with, making it more comedic but still informative. I'm out. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Please, I need to feed my cat. And I'll see you all next video.